So we'll continue with the same examples of sales, average, and the difference. We did the program, but we will do the same thing as a tracing just to make sure that we know the concepts. So to do the part of saying that we have to have the differences in an array, and we have to save the arrays with the differences, what we did, the initial thing, we created double brackets difference equal new double 7. So we created a new array difference and the size is 7. And then we had a for loop from I0 till difference.length, I plus plus. So starting from I equals 0 till the end of the array, all what we need is difference of I equals sales of I minus average. So the idea was as follow. When I is 0, it means I have to do this equation as follow. I'll have to say difference of location 0 equals sales at location 0 minus the average. So we will have to go to sales at location 0, which is currently as 1. So I'm saying 1 minus the average, which we have it as 4. So 1 minus 4, which will be as minus 3. And we have to save it in the array at location 0. So we will have to save it at difference at location 0, which will be as minus 3. Now this is in a for loop, so it means go again and increment I. So I will be moving to the second location, will be location 1. And we will notice that we are using I for the two arrays. So if I is 0 for sales, it will be 0 for difference. If I is 1 for sales, so I is moving to location 1 and sales, it means I will be moving to location 1 and difference. So we are using the same index for two arrays. Now we will do the same process, but we will use it for another index. So when I is incremented and I is 1, it means difference of 1 equals sales of 1 minus average. So sales at 1 is actually 2. 2 minus the average, which is 4. 2 minus 4 will be minus 2. And this should be saved in location 1 of difference. So I have to save here as minus 2. And we will continue till the end. So I will be incremented, it will be location 2. So remember, I is moving for both arrays, I for location 2 and sales, and also I will be moving for location 2 and difference. And similarly, you will just do the same process. So you will say difference at location 2 equals sales at location 2 minus average. Sales at location 2 is a 3. 3 minus 4, we will have it as minus 1. Save it in location 2, so we will have it as minus 1. And once you will continue, always you will say the number in sales minus the average. So here when you come to location 3, 4 minus 4, it will give you 0. And then you will say 5 minus 4, it will give you 1. 6 minus 4, it will give you 2. Finally, 7 minus 4, it will give you as a 3. And by this, you will finish your loop and you will have all of the differences which are saved in your difference array. And then once you do the output, you will do the output of the difference array and you will have the numbers minus a 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, and a 3. So the idea here we just have to concentrate on is I'm using one for loop and I'm using the same location, index I, for the two arrays. The second part of the program was talking about finding minimum and maximum. We will do only the minimum in this example as a tracing, and because it will do the same thing, if we know how to find minimum, it means we know how to find maximum as well. So the idea always declare a variable, call it minimum, and assume it's the first element in your array. So when you say minimum as a variable, if you say 0, it means you mean the location. This is the location 0. But if you need the value inside location 0, you have to say the name of the array at location 0. So that's why this minus 3 will be saved as the minimum. Now, I am assuming that the first location is the minimum, which means I have to go from location 1 till the end of the array, and I have to start comparing. Do we have another number that is smaller than minus 3? So that's why we will say I starts from 1, I starts from 1. Let's have an if condition. The if condition here, it will say if difference of I less than minimum. The value of I currently is 1, so it's more like I'm saying go and check if the array at location 1 is less than the minimum, and minimum currently is minus 3. Difference at location 1, which holds minus 2, so we are having an if statement. It says minus 2, is it less than minus 3? So each time I'm saying, is this number is smaller than the minimum? In our case, it's not smaller, so I will not do anything, and I will go to the second number. Minus 1, is it smaller? It's not. 0, 1, 2, 3, none of them is smaller. That's why when we finish, minimum will still have the value minus 3. So when you do the output of the minimum, it will give you minus 3 as well. It happened that in this case, our array, the minimum is located in the first location. But you can have another example. Let's have another array with different values, and we will see how the minimum will be working with us. So let's change only the two numbers. Let's assume the first number is 2 and the second number is, let's play with the numbers. So let's assume all the other numbers are greater. So I'm saying I'm having 2, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Find the minimum. The minimum will be, of course, number 1 because it's the minimum value. Now when we start, we will say double minimum equal difference at 0. It means declare a variable minimum. From your array, go to location 0, take the value and save it in minimum. So here the minimum will be holding the value 2. Then from location 1, from this location, location 1, till the end of the array, let's apply the condition that says go and check if the array at location I, which is currently location 1, is it less than the minimum, which is currently is 2. Difference at location 1 is holding the value 1. So it's more like I'm saying if the value 1 is less than 2, and this is a true, 1 is less than 2. So what I'll have to do, I'll have to say minimum equal difference at location I is currently 1. Difference of location 1 is holding 1. So take this one and save it in minimum. So minimum will be changed and the value will be as 1, which means I found another value that is smaller than 2, and I will save it in the variable minimum. Then we are done with location 1. We will move to the location 2. And again, I have to take this number 5 and I have to compare it with minimum. Now, when you do the comparison, so you will say, go at the array at location 2, is it less than minimum? Difference at location 2 is having the value 2. Minimum, remember the latest value of minimum which we have, which is 1. 5, is it less than 1? It's not. So I will not do any changes. We will not change the value of minimum. And then we will continue with all of the locations. So we will compare 6, 7, 8, 9. None of them is smaller. So we will end up that minimum is having the value 1. And by that, we will say the lowest value is the minimum. Of course, we said if we need maximum, the only thing we have to change is the operator. And instead of smaller than, we will have to say maximum than. So this was the example of how to have an array to read 7 elements, how to calculate the average. Then we will find the differences, and from there we will find the lowest. And also we discuss how to find lowest and maximum.